Hello guys and welcome to my new YouTube video for today. As you can see by the title of this video, Spider-Man black suit in the MCU. And I'm gonna put spoiler alert because we're gonna talk about the post-credit scene of No Way Home. And if you haven't seen No Way Home yet, I will advise you to log out of the video, watch the movie, and then come back. Because we're gonna talk about how Peter Parker will bond with the symbiote to to bond with the symbiote and then have the black suit, the iconic black suit. Alright, so let's get to it. Well, now that Eddie Brock left a piece of Venom in the MCU, how is Peter Parker gonna bond with it? And Tom Holland might do a new trilogy, so we might see the black suit in there, like somewhere in the new trilogy, or in the new Avengers film, because we all know that he has like one cameo and then one Avengers film next. But I'm pretty sure that Sony and Marvel are gonna work on something and have him extend his contract. But the symbiote, the black suit, we all want to see a comic book accurate black suit. Okay, and to be honest, I really like the black suit from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, even though it was basically the same suit but just colored black. But I really like the spider emblem, like how it looked like with like the pointy legs. But come on, like the Raimi black suit is really good, but we all want a comic book accurate Spider-Man outfit in the MCU. And now that Venom left a piece of himself in the MCU, we're gonna get it, boys and girls. The black suit, the iconic black suit. So, how is Peter gonna get the black suit in the MCU? Well, if it's and I'm gonna talk about this in the next trilogy or in the new Avengers film. Okay, in the trilogy. So let's just say that the piece of the symbiote crawled around somewhere in Mexico and bonded with different people to get to Spider-Man, because we all know that Venom in the post-credit scene of Let There Be Carnage, spoilers, he licked the screen saying, "That guy." Okay, so we got that. So Venom may want to meet this Spider-Man and see who he is and what's he up to, because again, I think Venom thinks that Spider-Man's a bad guy. So he's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna go meet Spider-Man and beat him up and see how he is, because he's a bad guy. So if the symbiote does crawl on its way to Peter Parker during the trilogy, we might see him probably like on the second film from the new trilogy, depending on who the villain is, because the villain has to be something like someone huge for the symbiote to be with Peter. But because I was thinking, obviously, I think now thinking about it, Peter might not be able to cross to the Sony universe. The Sony universe characters, the Spider-Man characters, will come to the MCU like Venom did in No Way Home. So could this be that in some time of the trilogy, Venom will be a villain for the next trilogy and somehow bond with Spider-Man to constrain him, and because again Venom still thinks that Peter is a bad guy. So the black suit, Venom can give Peter Parker the black suit there to like, but that doesn't make sense though, because if he gives him the black suit, then how is that gonna work? But anyway, if Peter gets the black suit in the trilogy, in the next trilogy, we might see it like on the second film of the trilogy. If Venom returns back to the MCU, we can have Spider-Man versus Venom, and then that would be like a good way to introduce Venom anyway, like a Venom versus Spider-Man film somewhere in the MCU. But for the black suit himself, how is Peter Parker gonna get it? And I think I have the answer for that one, and I think it's the Avengers film. So let's just say that Peter Parker um, aids Venom in Venom 3 if Spider-Man can cross to the Sony universe of Spider-Man characters. Then in Venom 3, whoever the villain is, Peter Parker can help Venom fight the villain, but obviously the villain is stronger than Peter Parker, Spider Man. So Venom lends a hand to Peter Parker and makes him the black suit, right? But it's not with like the white spider emblem, just like the veiny look that Venom is. So then Spider Man kind of beats up the villain, right, with the Venom symbiote. And then the Venom symbiote, Venom, comes back to Eddie Brock. But now Venom has the white emblem on his chest. And Venom says, "Oh, Eddie, I feel more powerful. I'm more like stronger than before. All thanks to this Spider Man guy, you know? Like, he's not a bad guy after all." So, we can have that happen for Venom 3. Like, Venom have the iconic white spider emblem, and then the piece of Venom that was left in the MCU, that could work for Peter to have his own spider, his own black suit for the new Avengers film. So let's just say that Spider-Man returns to his own universe, the MCU, after he helps Venom in Venom 3, right? If it happens. And then for the next Avengers film, or even for a cameo, what if in that cameo the piece of Venom bonds with Peter and creates the black suit, right? So Peter sees the black goo and Peter's like, "Hey, I thought that Venom, like I helped Venom on his own universe. Like how is there like a piece of him there?" So he grabs it, but and this is where it gets interesting. Since a piece of Venom is left out, not with Venom on his universe, the piece of Venom that's left in the MCU is unstable, right? The piece of Venom wants to find where Venom is. So Peter grabs the piece of the symbiote and it crawls all over him, giving him the veiny black suit, like how I said earlier. And then like he tries to take it off, right? Because it's like uncontrollable, and it's like, oh shit, it's killing me, like in the Ultimate Spider-Man movie, right? Movie, no, in the Ultimate Spider-Man game. So then, by the end of the of the cameo, or if this happens in the new trilogy of Spider-Man, the piece of Venom goes back to Venom. But then, like, if they make another movie of Venom before the new Avengers film, Venom tells Peter, like, "Oh, I'll give you a piece of myself so you can keep in your world, and this will help you with like strong villains, with like your enemies." So Peter Parker agrees, and he has a piece of the symbiote in a container, kind of like the Iron Spider suit, but like in a container. So then, during the new Avengers film with Spider-Man, whoever the villain is, Kang the Conqueror probably, Peter says, "Well, Venom slash Eddie gave me a piece of him to be here in the MCU, and I only need to have it when the time is needed, the world when the world is in danger again, and it's happening again with a bigger, stronger alien than Thanos was." So he opens the container with the Venom symbiote, part of it, and it turns and it crawls all over him, making the iconic black suit from the comics, the classic one, with the big white emblem on his chest. And then Peter's like, "With this power, I can make it easier to save the world. But now that the world's in danger again, I must use this power. Let's go, Venom." I think he goes out the window and fights with the Avengers. And look at that. I mixed the trilogy and the Avengers way of Peter Parker getting the black suit together. Because I was just gonna say like how Peter Parker can get the black suit in the new trilogy, but I also mixed with the Avengers. So we might see the black suit sometime in the new trilogy, or in the cameo that he has left, or in the Avengers film. If that can only work if the new Avengers film is before they make like a new Venom movie, and that happens, like I said, Venom lending like a piece of himself to be in the MCU to help Spider-Man, and that's how Peter Parker can get the symbiote. And there you guys have it. And I know like the piece that got like the piece that Venom left in No Way Home, like how it said, it can bond to Peter, but it's unstable. It takes it off, gives it back to Venom. Venom says like, "Oh, well, you know." that could work so Spider-Man can get the black suit. Because we all want to see the MCU black suit. Come on. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see, obviously, the black suit in the MCU. Because we all know that it's going to happen sometime. New trilogy or Avengers film. So, thank you guys for watching my video. And until next time, guys, peace.